Hey you guys, it's Peter and welcome to Peter Watches TV. And today I wasn't sure what to talk about. I was like, should we go with reality TV gossip? Or should I share with the people where I'm at in The Walking Dead? Well, I think that we'll go with reality TV gossip because two big stories are coming out. The first one is that it is rumored that Lala Kent of Vanderpump Rules fame is in discussion to sign on to season 2 of The Valley, but she will also remain on Vanderpump Rules, at least for one more season. So I'm going to talk about that in a second. And the second thing, the big story that just hit is that Dorit and PK Kimsley from The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills have announced jointly on their Instagram social media that they have separated. And this is a huge story. So let's talk about, which one should we talk about first? Should we talk about Lala Kent or should we, I've got more to say about The Valley actually, because I made a video about The Valley and saying that I couldn't handle it, I couldn't stand it, and people were like, well, you don't have to, good for you, you don't have to watch it anymore, and I've continued to watch it. We're almost at the end of the season, so I have a lot to say about The Valley, and I have a lot to say about Lala Kent joining The Valley. So let's talk about PK and Dorit, first of all. So it has been hinted out that Dorit Kimsley has not signed her contract for the next season of The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills because contractually they were saying that for her to come on The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills as a housewife, not as a friend of, that she would have to share what was going on with her and her husband PK. And there were a lot of rumors that PK had moved into the Beverly Hills Hotel, that PK and Mauricio, Kyle's husband that she is separated with, Kyle Richards, that they were hanging, that Mauricio and PK were still close, and they were hanging out. There were rumors that PK was, this was on the show, that there was a woman in a car and he was driving, whatever. There's been a lot of rumors, okay? PK was in, like, London for, like, months on end during the filming of the last season of The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. So Dorit didn't really want to share a lot about it. And so the rumors are that they were telling her that she would have to come out and share about what was going on with their marriage because apparently they were already separated is what people were speculating. If she didn't come out and talk about it, then she would either be risking being on the show or just being a friend of, that she wouldn't be a full housewife making the money that a housewife makes. Now, PK and Dorit are somebody that have, even though they have beautiful home and things like that, they've suffered a lot of financial loss. PK had gambling debts in the past that allegedly he had to pay off and things like that. So they've had a lot of financial problems. I'm not really sure that she's wanting to, especially in this situation, lose her salary for the housewives, which I'm kind of wondering if the timing of all this is coming out right before the contract signing or whatever, but needless to say, it makes me sad. I don't like to see any couple break up or anything like that. They put out on both of their Instagrams, they put out a joint post, and this is what it looks like right here, and it's signed Dorit and PK, and I will read it to you. And it says, "We as a couple have been subject to a lot of speculation about our marriage. We have had our struggles over the last few years and continue to work through them as two people who love each other and share two amazing children together. To safeguard our deep friendship and maintain a harmonious environment for our children, we have made the mutual and difficult decision to take some time apart and reevaluate our relationship while we prioritize our children. We appreciate your love and support while we continue to do the work necessary throughout this journey." The whole thing is sad to me, you know, and they've showed themselves going into marriage counseling, so they're already involved in marriage counseling. They've shown that on the show. I feel like there probably have been problems there for a long time. Erica at BravoCon, I believe it was 2 years ago, it was before the last season, she got asked like a fan question, and the question was, who's the next couple that you think is going to have problems in The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills? And she said Dorit and PK, and then she, this season, apologized to Dorit for that, but it kind of makes you wonder if there weren't things going on long before that. Dorit had kind of hinted at it this season that she and PK were like having some problems and things like that. Needless to say, it makes me really, really sad. I think this whole concept of, you know, they're saying that now that like Kyle Richards isn't going to be signed if she doesn't come out and discuss her relationship or her friendship with Morgan Wade and what's really going on. It's like, you know, it's interesting to me if this is true, if this is written into their contracts, which I don't know, you know, but that they're forced to talk about things that are, I mean, I cannot imagine going through, you know, my husband and I have been in marriage counseling for many, many years. I've shared on my other channels that we almost like were headed towards divorce. I cannot imagine filming those most intimate moments that were so difficult for the world to see, you know, for a spot on a reality show, no matter what amount of money you're making. I don't know, it just makes me really, really sad. do we live in a world where we feel like we can expect that from people? You know, Bravo right now is under a lot of, you know, criticism for many different things. And I think this is one of the interesting things. If those contracts are true, which I'm sure there are NDAs that say that they can't share what their contracts are, but if those things are true, that they're in talks where Dorit is being forced to share the problems of her marriage and whatever, you know, like this came out in the reunion for Beverly Hills where they were saying Kyle didn't share anything that was going on. She's like, I've shared everything my entire life. And she says to Sutton, like, all you shared was that you got a horse, right? It is interesting to me what's expected that some people share and other people don't share. And like, what is too much to share? What should we expect from the housewives? Do we expect too much? Do we expect everything from them? You know, at the same time, do they not deserve a little bit of privacy? I don't know. Like, it's kind of like a fine line. It's like you signed up for it, so we deserve to know. But then how much do we deserve to know? I don't know. I'd be interested to know what you think in the comment section below, so let me know. The next thing I want to talk about is that I saw this come up, and hold on a second. I'm going to quote directly who this is from. This is from the Queens of Bravo. They put this post up on Instagram. I'm sure they put it over on Twitter as well. I follow them both places. I love the Queens of Bravo. They posted, according to page 6, Lala Kent is in talks to join season 2 of The Valley. If it happens, she's still expected to take part on the next season of Pump Rules, is what it says. I think it's very, very interesting. You know, there's been, I think, at least one episode, maybe 2. I think there was one episode where both Sheena and Lala were on The Valley. Maybe 2 episodes where Lala was on there. They reference them quite a bit on The Valley. And I saw Alex and I, my husband, were watching Watch What Happens Live with Ariana and Katie Maloney Schwartz. And they were talking about, he asked them, like, how many of the people in the Valley do you know? And they were like, oh, we know most of them. Like, we've interacted with them at some point or another. So they all know each other, right? It was interesting. So let's do a little background story, okay? So I did a video after the first episode of The Valley, and I said it was boring. I could care less. It's like watching a bunch of people, you know, like, it's like watching my friends take care of their kids and going to soccer games on Saturday and then getting together, and they're all real boring, right? Okay, that was how I felt episode 1. I need to greatly retract that statement, and I need to apologize to all of you Valley lovers out there, okay? I want to apologize for my quick judgment of The Valley. I no longer feel that way. I am so into The Valley. I absolutely love it. I think it is an absolute shit show. I will be doing a video in a couple days about, this was actually going to be the video today, but this PK and Dorit thing came out, about how they're painting this picture that Kristen Doty is the villain of the show, when it's so obvious that it's all in the edit and that she's not really that, which is so crazy to me. It's like, I was watching it this week's episode, and it's like, she literally goes, so if you don't know what I'm talking about, there's this whole thing that's going on with Michelle and Jesse, and they're having, and then she's like allegedly having an affair with somebody else. Well, in real time, okay, right now, she's with that guy and they're separated, getting divorced. She's with the next, I think she's with the next guy, actually. Like the second guy after she's left Jesse. But on the show, they're like fighting about it, right? And like, and Kristen knows it, and she says something at this dinner, and it's always Kristen's the bad person. Kristen's the bad person. Well, what's interesting is, like, they go to dinner, or she goes to lunch with Jasmine, and Jasmine says to her, well, where did you, she's like, I wasn't even the one that said it first, like, Jax brought it to me, and she literally shows Jasmine the text where Jax said to her, don't say anything, like, blah, 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 whatever, and this could ruin Brittany's friendship with her, and he literally, they show the text on the TV show, and then they show Jasmine in the confessional, and she's like, yeah, Kristen doesn't really get it that she's the source of the problem, or something like that. I'm like, how is Kristen the source of the problem when she's literally not the person? It's like, okay, Zach was the one that brought up the original rumors. Okay, so she's the middleman that's transferring the message, and that makes Kristen a bad person. I guess that makes Kristen a bad person, but they're never mad at the original person. They weren't mad at Zach for being the one that was spreading the rumor, and they're not mad at Jax and Brittany for spreading the rumor. Those people are still invited. And then, you know, this week, Zach is crying his eyes out because he's not invited to Big Bear or whatever and that Janet girl, to Janet's whatever, baby boom or honeymoon, but a baby boom or whatever. And that Janet is the biggest gossip on the entire show. Like, this is what's killing me, is that there is no reunion to The Valley. Okay, you want to know what I think about The Valley? I'm so pissed that there's no reunion. I think if Lala, because they have like kind of hinted out that Sheena and Brock and Summer and Lala will come over to, and Lala and Ocean, and and now she's pregnant, will come over to the Valley. I think Lala and Sheena would be great for the Valley. I actually think Sheena and Brock are a better fit for the Valley than Lala is. But I'm going to tell you right now, if Lala comes over there, they are not ready for Lala in her mouth. They cannot handle anything. Those people, like, it's like one thing, they say something and Jesse's pounding his hands on the table and whatever, but I live for it. I love it so much. And my favorite couple, and I know, this is where you know you're getting older, okay? Watching all this shit is that my favorite couple is Danny and Nia. And I was saying that to somebody the other day and they go, but they're so boring. Like, they don't do anything. And I go, I know, but I love them. They're just like such a sweet couple. Like, I love them so much. But the show is an absolute shit show. I think it totally delivers. I did not think it would be as good as it is. I'm like living for the Valley now. So I totally changed my mind about the Valley. Whereas I thought it was a 1, I am now giving it, I wouldn't give it a 10. I'd say it's an 8. I think it's a low 8. I mean, it could like greatly improve, but it's really good. For a first season, I think it's fantastic. So let me know what you think about all that in the comment section below. I love you guys, and I will see you tomorrow. Bye.